Hi friends, today we will see something on extended access list, how to configure it in the Cisco routers. So about the extended access list, it's like we are going to block certain ports and some protocols by using the Cisco commands. It is an extended access list config. Making some mistake. Okay, extended access list config. It's so that's what we are going to do that today. And this is the topology which I am just making it out. Like this is the server which is sitting on the right hand side, which is in the Delhi, and the PC which is connected on the Bangalore on the left hand side you can see, and the Bangalore router is connecting to the Delhi router. Through this router, this PC will be talking to this, and it will be reaching this Delhi server. In the Delhi server, let me show you certain things which are the services which are running on this. HTTP is running, HTTPS is running. DHCP we can activate it, no issues. Like that, many other services are there. TFTP, DNS, syslog, AAA, NTP, email. So many things are there. We are going to discuss something on the HTTP connections only. HTTP is nothing but this server is going to act like a web server. And the web server, it will be like there are some standard pages are there. It will be showing that when the PC is connecting to this web server through these network connections, and it will be receiving the home page of the server which is displaying on this. So already the service has been on. HTTPS is also been on. Now let us just go back and assign the IP addresses to all the people. Let me get into the desktop. I'll go to the IP configuration. I will assign the IP what I given it on this diagram as such. 192.168.2.2. Mask is already taken. So 192.168.2.1. So this is the gateway which I have. Let me verify it with the command prompt ipconfig. So this is my IP 2.2 and the gateway is going to be 2.1. Let me close this. I'll assign the IP to the PC also now. Go to the desktop, IP configurations, 192.168.1.2. Mask has been taken as a 24-bit mask. Now I'll give the gateway for this because without the gateway it cannot reach another network. So we are assigning the gateway. Let me go back to the IP config. Just give it as IP config. You'll see that 192.168.1.2 is the 1.1 is the gateway. So once you hover the mouse, you can just see what is the IP is been given for this. You can see that 192.168.1.2 has been given. Here, if you just hover the mouse, you'll just see that what's the IP assigned for the server like. So we have the server and the client setup has been done. What is the main part is that we would like to configure this Bangalore router as well as the Delhi router. So Bangalore router, let me start that. I will do the things. So I'll just say no to this. Then I will be enabling. There is no password to set it. Anyway, we can set that password, not about this. Config terminal. Host name is BLR. That I just need to set it up first of all. Host name is BLR. Then I will be configuring the interface. Interface fast Ethernet 0/0. IP address 192.168.1.1. 24-bit mask need to be given. I'll make it as no shutdown. To make the ports up, I just need to give that no shutdown. I have to configure the serial also. This serial will be talking to the Delhi router 10.1.1.1. This I'll go with the normal 8-bit mask. I'll give the no shutdown again. There is a spelling mistake. So now I finished the config means like IP addressing configurations I finished. I'll just show you this. So this is showing down still. Because of that, the other side is not being configured. So Bangalore router basic configuration has been done. Let me go back to the Delhi router. I'll get into the CLI. No, then I will say enable config terminal. Host name is Delhi. Interface fast Ethernet 00. IP address 192.168.2.1. 34-bit mask as it is. no shutdown. Interface serial 000. IP address 10.1.1.2 with 8-bit mask as usual. So this has also been done now. So show IP interface brief will show me that what are the things I configured. So now the serial has been showing up. Because of that, the other side has also been configured. You can just see that both are up. So now the both the routers are configured. You can just see that it's coming up a green. This will also come green. So the whole communication has been set up now. Everywhere you can just see the green arrow like that. So what is left out is that we just need to have to configure a routing protocol between these two routers. Then only this is a different network. This is a different subnet. 192.168.1.0 is a different subnet. 192.168.2.0 is another subnet. If you would like to configure the two subnets to talk to each other, we have to configure the routing part. Any routing, I can just take that. Let me go to the Bangalore router first, and I will configure the EIGRP routing. Router EIGRP 10. Any autonomous system I can give it. I just need to specify the network numbers 192.168.1.0. Then another network 10.0.0.0. No auto summary. And wait. So Bangalore has been set up. Let me do the same for Delhi router. Config terminal. Router EIGRP10. Same autonomous system number has to be used here also. 192.168.2.0. That is a local network. 10.0.0.0. No auto and right. Before writing itself, everything has been up now. So I can just see that both the routers are configured with the EIGRP protocol. Show IP EIGRP neighbor. So I'm just seeing the Bangalore router has become a neighbor. I can check the topology also. It's a, I can see that 1.0 has come up here. So I'll just verify the route. D route. I'm seeing the D route. D in the sense it's nothing but a EIGRP. So the 192.168.1.0, which is lying, which is residing in the Bangalore side, it's been learned through the EIGRP in the Delhi router. Same way, I can check it out on the Bangalore also. Show IP EIGRP neighbor. Then I'll just check it out like topology. I see the 2.0 has come up here. 2.0 is coming from Delhi. Show IP. So it is showing now. Means now the routing has been completely set up. Okay. So the entire circuit has been come up and it is perfectly working now. Now this guy can reach the server without any problems. Let's try reaching this server. First of all, let me ping it out first. So my IP is 1.2. I'm able to ping my own IP. I should be able to ping the gateway IP that is working. My own gateway means it's PC gateway. Then I'll ping the other side gateway means Delhi router fast thread IP. It's also working. And the Delhi side server IP 2.2. It will take some time. Then it will be start working. Now it's working. So I can able to reach the server. Means I can able to ping that server. But actually what we are going to do with this extended access list is nothing but going to block it out or enabling the HTTP server access. So let me open the web browser. I will type it as it is, http://. I can give the IP address 192.168.2.2. So I can see that. So this is the page which has been displayed from the web server in PC screen. I can surf it out also, small page, it's showing hello world. Then I can just see the copyright informations. And click go back and I can check the image. So this is an image of the Cisco logo, it's coming up. And I can just see the image only. So everything is running. Means I would like to show you that all access is being done now. Means I can access the web servers I can ping the server from here. So what is the aim of this lab is going to be like, I will be blocking the HTTP access towards this side. Rest all services will be running. Block only HTTP. Let me write down block HTTP access. That is the way that I'm just going to do this extended access list. So we are going to write the extended. So better we write that extended access list near to the source itself, because this is the source and this is the destination. So in the source itself, I will be writing the extended access list. I will go to the Bangalore router, config terminal. Everything should be configured through the config terminal. You can just say that access list, sorry, access list. Then I'll have to say whether it is going to be an extended access list or a standard. We will be writing the extended. So I will be giving the number as 101. Any number can be given from 100 to 199. Access list 101. Then afterwards, what we need to do? I just need to maintain that. What is that? I just need to specify the conditions. Either it is going to permit or it is going to deny. Now we are going to deny the HTTP access. So I will say deny. Then what protocol we are going to do that? So here you just see that AHP, AGRP, ESP, GRE, ICMP, IP, TCP we can pick it up because the HTTP is coming under the TCP protocol. So with the TCP port number 80, if I block it out, that will become the HTTP blocking. So I will say TCP. Then I'll give the question mark. What will be the source address? Source address is going to be, I will be giving the entire subnet address for this. Source is 192.168.1.0 and the mask should be the reverse mask. It's called as a wildcard mask. Then here, I just need to give the destination address also. So here I given the source address. Source address is given. After that, I just need to give the destination address. So I'll be giving the destination address now. 192.168.2.0.0.0.255. Then what I'm going to do, I just need to see that equivalent. What packet are going to get denied? Because we are denying. Deny TCP port 80, I can just give it. EQ80. 80 is nothing but HTTP port. So now I give it. Access list 101, deny TCP 192.168.1.0, that is the source address, to destination 192.168.2.0, equivalent port number 80. Our aim is that to block only the HTTP access. Other protocols, whatever it may be, should be permitted. So I just need to write that line. I just need to make it like that. That line has to be written, else everything else will get blocked because of the access list. The way it is working, the procedure has been like that. At least one other permit statement has to be written on the access list. Otherwise, everything will get blocked because there is an implicit deny any is been there in the last line. So I just write it like access list. Same number I will use it. Permit. Protocol will be IP. IP equals every other protocol, numbers, ports, and everything. Permit IP from anywhere to anywhere. So first line, what is it saying? It is going to block the TCP access of the port number 80. Second line is permitting everything. So you can just ask me like, we are permitting everything. Why the 80 will not be 80 will also get permitted or something? No way. Because this is the first line and this is the second line. Line by line, the router will be processing the requests. So first it will be looking for the first line. If the packet is matching with the port number 80, it will block it. If the packet is not matching with the port number 80, it will allow it. So now one thing is remaining, that we need to apply this access list to the interface which is going out. Interface serial 000 IP access group. I just need to give the number, go outgoing direction. That's it. Now I applied this access list to the interface serial 000. Why I'm applying it to the serial 000? Let me go back to the diagram and I'll show you. Because this serial 0 is the packet is sending out. It will be reaching the Delhi. So that's why I have applied to the serial 000. Now what is next? We just need to end, then we just need to write it. So this is a very simple access list which I written on this. blocking the port number 80 only and allowing everything else from 192.168.1.0 network to the destination 192.168.2.0 network. 1.0 network is nothing but a source network which is available on Bangalore router. 2.0 is a destination network which is residing on the Delhi side. So this access list has been applied to the serial interface. So the serial interface will start screening the packets whenever it is going out. So we can just see that by saying show access list. You can see that. So this is access list. See, it is replacing with the www. No problem. 80 or you can just say www also, no issues. Both are same. The line number 10 means the first line. Line number 20, that is the second line. The line number 10 is denying TCP from 1.0 to 2.0 equivalent port number 80. Line number 20, it's saying permitting the IP any. So now what we need to do, we just need to go and verify from the PC whether we will be able to access the server or not. From this PC, I am going to access this server. The PC tab has been already opened. So let me go back. So I wanted to ping the server 192.168.2.2, whether I can ping it out or not, because we written the access list statements. I can able to ping it, right? And I can do the FTP also. FTP 192.168.2.2. Username is Cisco, password is also Cisco. It's working. You can see that. See, this is all showing the iOS copy of this. Quit means I came out. Ping is working, FTP is working, but we need to verify whether the HTTP is working or not. Let me go to the browser. I will type it http://192.168.2.2. That is the server IP. I just click go. Click go. Not going. Why is it not going? Because the Bangalore router is blocking the HTTP access towards the Delhi. Let's wait for some more time because the packets try to reach that. See, now it is saying request timeout. Why? Because the extended access list is in charge of the situations. Like let's see go and we will give that same command again. 45 matches are there, means 45 packets tries to reach the server for the service port number 80. 23 matches are here, means a packet matching, permitting IP any, because we done the FTP login to the server. We did the pinging also. That's why this 23 matches are showing. Means our access list is perfectly working. Our aim is to block only the HTTP access, not the anything else, not all the other protocols as well. So this we've done it. If you would like to remove it, means in the sense if you would like to normalize it. Normalizing in the sense every other traffic should be activated from the Bangalore side to the Delhi side. So we just need to do it on the reverse interface serial 000. Let me bring the lines. This is the one. No means it is removing the access group from that. Then I will write it no access list 101. That's enough. I don't require to write everything else as we did it. So now let me see show access list. Nothing is there. Let me write down. Now I will go back to the PC again. And let me close this and I'll start again. Let me start the web browser. I'll type it like http://192.168.2.2. Now I'm getting it. Small page. And I'm getting the copyrights. Right? Everything is coming up. Image. Beautiful. Why is now it is working? Because of that. We are not install any kind of an access list in the Cisco router. So this is how you will be writing the extended access list. We've seen the example of how to write the extended access list and how to remove the extended access list. Before writing the access list, we verified the connection completely. It was working. After applying the extended access list, we've seen certain services are blocked. Means HTTP only blocked. Every other services were working. Then we removed the extended access list. to see whether everything is been normalized or not. Everything was working. So this is about today. Let's see something more on next time. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Please, subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting more videos like this. Thank you very much. Bye.